Getting nibbled on by them baby flounders.
Yeah. All dabbing on little bitty shad.
I couldn't make them bite out there. I had to get away from them and get up here.
Too much food.
Bring to a hard bite when they're on them little mini.
It is. We started out, we first got out here this afternoon, the bite was fairly aggressive. We were catching some fish on tails with heavier jig heads, 1/8 ounce jig heads, and the conventional 16th ounce jig heads, and some larger topwaters like she dogs and skitterwalks. Then the bait started kind of going away and the fish got suspended. Once the bait started coming up, the small juvenile shad started coming to the surface when the tide changed. These fish didn't want a big bait anymore. They wanted something subtle. And we've caught a few on the lure you see here to the left, Super Spook Junior. And then that bite kind of faded. And what I like to go to then, when they won't really hit a topwater, even a small topwater, we know the fish are there, but they're suspended, they're just real fickle, and they're full of these juvenile shad. Then I'll switch over to either a double D, which you see the purple double D here to your left, and then Barboletta Lily in the pearl and chartreuse pattern. And then this little hot rod, this little slow sink hot rod, this pink and chrome hot rod has been a really good bait, especially when they're feeding on these juvenile shad. And then one thing one thing we really like to do when we need to cover a whole bunch of water, when these fish get spread out and suspended like this, is we'll switch over to this Little John on this 1/8 ounce Bass Assassin Pro Elite jig head. And it darts. It's got a real good darting action. It stays in the water column and strike zone for a long time. It's actually a scented bait too, which really helps entice a few more strikes. I truly believe that. But that's what we do when we go from an aggressive bite to more of a subtle bite. We just size down and throw baits that are more suspended in the water column. Nice trout. Big, hey, that's a real pretty trout. All you gotta do is walk back to the boat and they start eating again. That's a good one. That's the biggest one today, I think. You know how to grab them?
I was just going to grab him underneath.
Just you ease it up down his back, up right behind the gills.
From the top?
From the dorsal fin. Come from the middle of the back. And
here.
yes, sir, right behind the gills. Not the belly, but on the back.
Oh, okay, that was my question.
And then when you grab it, just hold it. Make sure and hold it. Don't grab the line.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Nice. Nice.